Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe!
Hey and welcome to Weekly Tips. We're putting some sense in your tip jar. Welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are going to be drawing Pikachu. So let's pika into this and draw this Pikachu. So once I have gathered my reference material, I then go ahead and draw this Pikachu. Again, this is, starting out, this is not a, how to draw, draw this shape, then draw that shape, and then you have a Pikachu, like magic. No, this is a, teaching you kind of the shapes and the forms that you should be looking for in the certain drawing. In a certain subject, really. Here I start out with a front view because it is very simple, and here you're not worried too much on his pose and what's going on with his pose. So you're just kind of focusing on trying to get those shapes right. And that's what I'm dealing with here. I'm trying to get the shape of his head right, his mouth, his eyes, then doing his hands right and his feet. And I slowly edit it as I go. You can see me, I add in the hands there for feeling out of whether they're too wide or too big as well. How big his hands are, how big his body is compared to his head. Looking at all these things, um, it's really trying to understand, how kind of Pikachu is built with in regards of shapes and forms, so that you can go ahead and conquer with drawing him in different poses, drawing him in your own context and stories. You might have a Pikachu story you're trying to tell, or yeah, anything you'd like to draw him in. You might want to do some fan art or something that's interesting. So yeah, start off doing this pose, a front-on pose if you like. Um, you don't have to start off front pose. Yeah. Here you can see me fixing up. I use the clipping mask. Now that's a good tool for cutting and pasting when you don't want to kind of redraw the whole thing. You just want to change one aspect, like his ears, or you might have the rest of his body right, like his hands, but you don't quite have a certain part of his body right, like his tail or something. So you instantly like clip the tail off and redo the tail. Um, it's a fun little tool. But I use it, but then again, I do draw over top of that. I don't usually like just clip mask it in, and that's it. I usually then go from the clip masked image, and then you see me just fix it up and make it all one layer again. Usually that's the way I do it. It just the clipping mask might or fixed it to a certain extent, and then drawing over top of it again gives me that little bit extra room to change something if I see fit when I'm drawing it. Um, yeah, so it's a good tool, clipping mask, but um, it can have its weakness. It can be stiff because it's based on the old drawing of it, so drawing over top of it gets rid of that kind of thing. If that makes any sense to you. Anyway, as I slowly close off here to just polishing this image off, um, again the changes I've been doing is making it a little bit longer, his body the right kind of proportion in the size of his head. I noticed possibly his tail needs to be a bit bigger in the image. I don't think I changed that from now, so his tail needs changing if I was to move forward and draw it again. But sometimes you notice that and it's too late by the time you can draw it again, obviously, but by the time you kind of close the drawing off, you know. I move on to the next drawing anyway. Um, and from here, you know, I go to a 3/4 view. This shows a lot more detail. You know, you're seeing kind of the front and side view in a way. Couldn't find a good full kind of side view of Pikachu, so I went for this kind of 3/4 view, which is just as good, you know. If you want to do um, front view, side view, you can do like a 3-ish quarter view. It's kind of good, um, as long as you're not just looking at it. You know, you're not just looking at your subject just front on, you know. You want to be able to look at it side view so you understand the wraparound of the subject you're drawing, the Pikachu that you're drawing. You know, here I can see how long his actual tail is on the side view, you know, compared to his body. So if I was to go back to, you know, look at the side view, then look at the front view, and put them next to each other, be like, okay, well, look at their tails, and eventually get to be like, okay, this is actually how long his tail is in this image, so it should be this long in this image, you know. And these things that you notice. Um, Here you can see those beady little feet that I'm drawing here, and this kind of mouse-like shape that Pikachu has, as well as looking at his chubby cheeks and his nice little eyes, his ears, everything that he has. Yeah. So hopefully this does kind of help you in drawing Pikachu. Um, Doing these views would definitely help. You can see the way I am doing it. You know, I draw the overall shape first of the Pikachu, and then slowly close in on the details, and then fixing up as well as I go. Uh, and you're gonna fail. That's a given. So just keep trying. You know, I failed a few times drawing this. And you may not fail because, you know, you're used to drawing this kind of thing. But yeah. For me, even looking at it now, I'm like, okay, I know this is wrong. You know, his ear needs to be a little longer. Um, I see the tail needs to be a bit longer. You see me fixing that up, but I see that his ear, it looks like his ear needs to be a little bit longer, um, compared to the rest of his body. So, yeah, definitely, I'm not perfect, but, you know, I try my best with this drawing. But, you know, understanding the basic form, you can see me do this pose, and you can see, oh, you know, I've kind of drawn that shape. The shape of the ears is kind of like a carrot like shape that he has for his ears are, you know, it kind of look like a carrot in a way, or cartoon carrot, as well as his arms kind of look like carrots as well, um, and his big circular mouth, you know, circle eyes, and this kind of beanbag looking body that Pikachu has as well. These forms and shapes I've seen in the previous, you know, drawings, poses from Pikachu, and I could easily just apply them to this pose really well, and it makes it way easier. You know, understanding the shapes you're working with for this creature, this Pikachu, makes it way easier to then draw it in different poses. Eventually being able to draw it in your own poses. Um, as well as being able to draw it while you've got blurry objects like blurry feet or blurry, um, feet in your images. Yeah. You see me adding in the details as well as I go. You can see that a little bit of his feet, like a tiny proportion of his feet, is actually cut off the image, to the image I found. But I have kind of fixed that up in my drawing the best I can from thinking about the different poses that I've done of that feet. And it's not too much that I can kind of fill in the blanks with that one. And then we go into the most dramatic image of Pikachu I could find. And also you have their blurriness. I can't quite tell, um, where his paws are in this image. Um, it's all blurred out by electric shots as well as his ears, but I can vaguely see them, so I can vaguely make out those shapes. Again, not being perfect, just trying to understand the shapes and the forms. I would take, these drawings, and then start to build my own kind of drawing from here. These 4 drawings I've done, they are just me understanding. And that's what you want to do first. You want to understand your subject first. And then you can take, all these drawings that you've done, the views that you've done, and actually do a pretty awesome drawing from there, But hopefully, this does help you in drawing Pikachu and drawing him in different poses. You can see the way I approach it, and hopefully that helps you finding those shapes that he has. It's definitely not a how-to, draw a circle, then draw a triangle, you've got Pikachu, there you go. Or draw a beanbag, a circle, and some carrots, and you've got Pikachu. But it's, it shows you the forms and shapes that goes into Pikachu. Hopefully it does help you draw him, and draw him pretty cool, and you can draw him in your own poses as well. So, let me know down in the comments if you like Pokemon, if you draw them, if you have in the past, if you do fan art, anything like that, I'd love to know. Keep drawing everyone, keep creating, and see you in the next video.